so how to deal with a downswing. And this is a video that's been requested quite a bit. It's something that every single player goes through. It's one of the rougher parts of poker. It's something that I've struggled with and people I've coached struggle with and every single friend I know struggle with. I don't think you will meet a poker player who has been playing poker consistently for a long time that hasn't experienced a downswing of some sort. But let me just start to define, like, what do I mean by downswing? So downswings are when you're playing well, you're playing good poker, you're making the right decisions, and no matter what happens, you don't win. You constantly get in there with the better hand, and the mathematical gods just stab you in the throat, and things don't work out for you. So downswings aren't sucking in poker, and some people mistake downswings with sucking. So I've had quite a few people come in here for private lessons in the beginning and be like, oh man, I'm in such a downswing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, come in, let's talk about it. So we come in and I go over a couple hands with them. I'm like, you're not in a downswing, you just suck at poker. I mean, I believe that your upswings or your previous success was based on sheer luck. And this happens, so downswings are great because the same exact thing happened to me. My worst downswing was when my grandfather was sick and I was studying for the LSAT, and the LSAT wasn't going that well at the time. I got better at it, but at that time I was doing bad. And I was just very frustrated. I was playing poker and I lost a significant amount of my bankroll, probably like 30 or 40% over the course of like 2 months. And I thought I was experiencing a downswing, but I just really wasn't that good of a poker player. I didn't really know that. I mean, I was decent, but I wasn't great. And I took some time off, and this was sucked. I took some time off. I traveled Europe. I went backpacking Europe with my friend Matt for around 2.5 months, and I get back and I started to reapproach the game, and I got better. That's when I started getting consistent. I was doing better. But I wasn't doing better. I was doing better because I understood concepts, but then I got the worst downswing of my life. And that was when I was consistently making the right decision and not reaping the rewards of that. And mentally, that's freaking hard. It's hard to make the right decision over and over and over again and, not get rewarded for that. Humans are not designed for, poker they always tell you in poker, don't be results oriented, be decision oriented, right? So it doesn't matter what happens, right? Well, all that matters is you make the right decision. And that is exactly how you need to approach poker. Unfortunately, for the human brain and the human psyche and the average person, that is rough. It is rough to consistently I'm getting passionate about it right now just thinking about it, because it's a rough thing in poker. And I kind of want to discuss, after just defining poker, remember, if you're defining downswings as, when you're making the right decision and those decisions aren't leading to the expectation that they should, right? I want to discuss kind of how I deal with it, or how I coach people through it, and how we deal with it in school cards. So for those of you going through a downswing right now, maybe watching this video, I've been there, we'll get you through it, don't worry. So, okay, so first things first. As soon as you go through a downswing, and by downswing, if you just had 1 or 2 sessions that were bad, they weren't downswings. If you had 1 or 2 sessions that were bad and now you have no money left, you weren't practicing proper bankroll management. That was the downswing. It's impossible to lose it's about for a 1-day downswing and have no roll. You're usually playing, not proper bankrolls. You're not utilizing proper bankroll management. So I'm talking about, live poker, you're playing every single day, you've played for the past month, and you consistently make the right decision, you're not profiting from it. So the first thing you do here is you take off. You take 3 or 4 days off, you stop playing poker. No poker, go freaking sit on a lake, I don't care what I'm going to a lake tomorrow morning to go sit on it with my girlfriend to Maine, where she's from, so it's interesting. I digress, of course. But what I want you to do is just go do something differently, right? So nothing poker, go see a movie just for 3 or 4 days. When you come back from that 3 or 4 days and you're more, relaxed and chilled, I want you to take a really good look at your game. And when I say good look at your game, you need what's called outside evaluation. So you want someone else to evaluate your game. And typically you want, not someone else, but several other people to evaluate the lines that you take and the things that are going on and the way you think about poker. And ideally, they're better poker players than you. That's why it's really important to have a social circle of poker players that are better than you. Because sometimes, just like you're playing shitty, and then everyone's like, oh no, yeah, it just sucks. And in reality, they're not giving you the right constructive criticism. So it's important to surround yourself like that. So that's really what we want to do. Second is really determine if you're in a downswing because of variance or if you're in a downswing because of sucking. Next. What you really want to do is if you're not, sometimes you're not, sometimes you're making all the right decisions, and then it's kind of like, it sucks, it really does suck, but what you need to think about is if you're making the right, I think Dan Harrington, I don't know who said this, I think Dan Harrington said, like, if you're consistently getting bad beats, it's showing that you're playing good poker for the most part because you got in there with the best of the money. You have to kind of pat yourself on the back for understanding that, you are playing well and you're making the great decisions, and doing that in the face of such, bad luck for the most part is quite admirable. And understand that what's going to separate you from the average poker player is that you're not going to give into that. So you're not going to be the kind of person that is going to, be on a 1 month downswing and then lose their entire bankroll the next week. So, bring pride to that. Bring pride into having the ability or the capacity to still play level-headed and to still not get emotional and to still kind of love the game. And if you got to really focus on that, because that's what's going to distinguish you from an average player. Like I know players that are in downswings. It starts as a downswing and then it's just like do bam, and then they don't recover from it. Every player is going to experience a downswing at one point. It's the players that the way they deal with it is that going to make the distinguishing between a professional or very good poker player versus a poor one. So I really want you to evaluate your game, and it can be difficult to do, but try to focus on that. Second, go out, read some poker books, go on the forums, view some of my videos. Just start to get out there and just don't play yet. Just kind of pick up some more information. Make sure you're validating, doing the things you do, and then take a longer break. Right? Take maybe like 2 or 3 weeks off. And what you do is this: when you come back from a downswing, you don't just jump into it. This is the most important thing. I cannot stress this enough. The most important thing is when you come back from a downswing, you have a plan, an actionable plan. You know what your bankroll is, right? Okay, I have $10,000. I'm going to play 1-2 until I build that up to $18,000. Have an actionable plan. Just jumping right back into poker from a downswing without a plan is just asking for bad. It's going to not work out well, for the most part, because then all that first freaking game that doesn't work your way, oh my God, it's not over. You don't want to create that. What you want to do is have a plan so that you can view things from more of a macro perspective and look at, all right, I may be down one buy-in, but I have 75 others, or I have 60 others, and at the grand scheme of things, that's not really hurting my bankroll that much, so I'm not really that concerned. Maybe if I go down to 15, I'll reevaluate or something like that. Have a plan, and don't sit at the table and be all negative, like, oh, I know don't complain, don't bitch. You gotta clean the slate, get back out there, and just start playing, and just understand that it sucks. It really, really sucks, and it's a part of poker that sucks. But the thing that makes you different is your ability to deal with that sucking. So I really, I know all this video. I hope this video helps you guys. It's a rough kind of thing. Fortunately enough, personally, I hated the downswings in poker, which is why I'm so well diversified right now, that even if I were to go play, 25, 50 and do that, I'd have money coming in from so many different other sources that I wouldn't feel it as much. And I thought that was one of the things that made me, I'm at the end of the day, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business person. Poker was always seed capital for me, but distributing your risk is incredibly important. So maybe during those downswings, it's also time to think about different ways of applying that poker money or different things you can do with it. All right, thank you. So we're back. As you can see, I'm going to start pumping out a serious amount of videos. We're doing a lot of things differently with School of Cards now. We're gonna be pumping out more content consistently. Once again, I apologize to everybody for not uploading every week, but it was all because of Beyond Tells. So please subscribe. Also, if you want to check out my behavioral-based training for poker, beyondtells.com. Some of you, thank you so much. You've supported us already, and you've pre-ordered the product. It is going to change the landscape of poker. It is an amazing product. Nobody There's not a single person out there that could have done this. I have my background in psychology. I run a nonverbal consulting organization and played poker. I promise you, if you play live poker, this will change your game. So check out beyondtells.com. Also, I just want to thank you all. The emails, some of you have sent me some really long emails saying like, what the hell, get back online, I miss your videos. The support is the reason why, you know, I'm sitting here doing this late at night, and I really love it. I really love, you know, the feedback. I still get giddy when I open up YouTube and see like, oh my God, 300 people have viewed my video. I love it. Even the bad comments, I don't like the people that are idiots. Like, I like the people that are like constructive. That's awesome. But the people that are just like idiots, you're annoying. But the people, all the good comments and all the constructive criticism, I love it so much. And, you know, thank you so much for supporting this channel. And I wanted to like sign out with like a catchphrase, but I feel kind of corny. But really, the motto of my company, there's two, right? It's we never gamble, and if you're not thinking, you're gambling. And I really, really, really believe that. Poker is a game of thought, and if you're not thinking, you're gambling. So please, like, if that's a mantra for everybody that, you know, everybody that watches this video, I think you'll be a lot better of a poker player if you just sit there and really think about that. So if you're not thinking, you're gambling. Thanks again. I'll upload another. We'll be uploading a video every week consistently on Thursday, and then a couple others here and there to mix it up. All right, guys, have a good one.